Despite not being yet available for pre-order in America, I just managed to get my hands on the latest wave of Batman 66 figures from McFarlane. Stay tuned to see them close up. Welcome back. Now, as I just said, I've received a delivery all the way from Australia to here in Bangkok for the latest McFarlane Batman 66 figures. Now, I just got notification that they've been delivered. So let's go downstairs, pick up the package, come back, and we'll see what these figures are all about. Well, that was a bit of a disaster if I'm being honest. Turns out what was delivered was in fact the customs invoice for Thailand. Now, I've ordered many times from Pop Culture and had them delivered to America with no problems whatsoever. This time they were held at customs, and what was delivered downstairs was in fact the invoice. We had to then take that to the post office and pay 761 Thai baht, which is about $22, which kind of sucks. So now that about the package, and I should put out, as always, 2 of each. However, I am sort of thinking about that going forward. I don't think I'm going to keep a whole set carded. But anyway, we have Batman with the Bat respirator. Robin also with the Bat respirator. But the star of the show this time is Batgirl. Now what you'll notice is on the Batman and Robin, they are branded as being from the classic TV series. Batgirl, however, the branding is the Batman 66 comic book line. The reason being that Yvonne Craig's estate will not permit her likeness to be used. So to get round that, they've done Batgirl from the comic book series, and it looks reasonably close to the Batgirl we saw on the classic TV show. Now, very interesting, this time round, as it was in fact with the last wave, they've done away with those stupid text bubbles. So Batgirl gets a Batarang and Bat cuffs. Robin comes with Batarang and Bat radio, but kind of cool here, Batman has the Bazooka. They have used the same clamshell for the previous incarnations that came with the speech bubble, so you can see the cutout there for those silly bubbles, but thankfully we are now getting accessories, which is a massive bonus. Now, you can't do a review without getting them out the package, so stay tuned, and in 1 second I'll show you these figures close up. So starting things out with Batman. Now obviously we've had Batman, I believe this is now the 9th incarnation that McFarlane have given us of this figure. Now the figure itself, slight difference being he has 2 open hands. All the other figures have 1 clenched fist, and I'm presuming that's because he will be holding the Bazooka. We'll get to the Bazooka very shortly. Now, for those of you who are wondering, this Bat respirator is not removable. It's been sculpted onto the face. So if you were hoping to get this figure and remove the Bat respirator to have an original Batman, I'm afraid that will not be the case. Now, obviously I don't have my other figures to hand, and I just get the impression that this blue that's been used for the cowl, gloves, pants and boots is a lighter blue than normal. I could be wrong, of course, but that's the impression I am getting right here. As always, the rather poorly cut cape. I don't know why this has happened. It's been like this since day one. It's not even, and it looks rather odd, but regardless of that, the figure itself, for what it is, it's a nice looking figure, but do we really need 9 different Batmans? Even I don't believe so. But the respirator does look pretty cool, and I think it even says so on there. I would need glasses. Sorry, it says oxygen actually. The word there is oxygen, so that's probably why it's being billed as Batman with an oxygen mask, but this is in fact the Bat respirator. Now, he comes with a weapon for once. The first time in the line, this is the Bazooka, and it even has the Bat logo down here at the butt of the gun, which is quite nice. All in all, a pretty good looking Bazooka. No complaints there, and I'm assuming he can hold it given that he's been sculpted with 2 open hands, unlike the regular version which has 1 open hand and 1 clenched fist. But I don't know if it's possible to get him using both handles at the same time, but we'll give it a try. Now, I should point out the plastic, I don't know if it's because of the humidity here, but the plastic on the handles is very soft on this Bazooka, but it looks like he's going to be able to do it, which could be make for a nice pose. There we go, not at all bad, pretty cool looking. Yeah, no complaints there. Well, aside from the one complaint that this is now the 9th version of Batman, but that aside, it's pretty good looking. The respirator has been sculpted rather well. It's just a pity that it cannot be detached, but I guess it was a cost-cutting thing. Rather than have to, you know, make 2 components, just do 1 head with the respirator sculpted on. But all in all, pretty good looking figure. Now we have Robin with his Bat respirator. Once again, it's the exact same figure, and as you can see, he has 1 open hand, 1 clenched fist, and so despite coming with 2 accessories, he can only use 1 at a time. Same thing with Batman. This respirator cannot be removed, but that's kind of what we expected. Again, Robin does not have a scalloped cape, but it's been this way since day one with McFarlane, so I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But yeah, the figure from the neck down is exactly the same as the other Robin figures. Now, as I said, Batarang and a Bat radio, so I'm assuming he'll be able to hold the Bat radio. Let's just see. Again though, this rubber, or the rubbery plastic here, is quite soft here. I'm thinking it's because of the humidity, but there you go. There he is holding his Bat radio. Oh, it's a pretty wacky figure, and I never imagined that McFarlane would give us Batman and Robin with their Bat respirators, but that's what they've done. It is what it is, so if you're a fan like I am, I'm sure you're going to be buying these. So on the shelf it'll look kind of weird next to all the other Robins, but nah, still happy with it. It's just, how many more of the same characters do we need? So now we have the star of the show. This is Batgirl. Now, of course, this is not the TV series Batgirl as played by Yvonne Craig. This is Batgirl from the comic book, so you can see it's slightly different to the one we saw on the TV show, but nevertheless, it's as good as we're going to get. Now, I like the way it looks. However, my major complaint here is that while she did have a scalloped cape, her cape was purple on the outside with a yellow lining, and they have just gone for a completely yellow cape. Although, in fairness, perhaps in the comic book it was like this. I don't know, I've not read the comic book. Now, much like the other female figures, they've done much more slender than the male figures, obviously, and as such, she does have peg holes, so it can be done. Now, if you remember, I was complaining that the Catwoman figures were missing peg holes, and I put that down to the sort of slender, dainty boots, but it appears that it can in fact be done. So again, yet another inconsistency from McFarlane. Now I'm loving the look of the utility belt. Looks very nice, nicely sculpted, and she comes with the back cuffs and a girl-sized batarang. This is definitely the smaller batarang when compared to Robin's. Now I'm assuming we can probably have her posed holding the back cuffs, if I can get it in. There we go. So whilst it's nice to get accessories finally, it makes things a bit odd whereby half the collection, or I should say 2/3, even 3/4 of the collection came with text bubbles, and only a small fraction come with accessories. But maybe down the line we will get an accessory pack. But all in all, pretty good looking Batgirl. Whilst it's not quite Yvonne Craig, as I said, this is as good as we're going to get, unfortunately. But overall, I'm very happy with this, and without question, this is the star of the wave. I hope you enjoyed that look there at these new exciting figures from McFarlane. And as I said at the beginning, it's bizarre, but these are not even available for pre-order in America yet. I have no idea when these will be made available, but if you so wish, please head to Pop Culture in Australia and they will get the figures to you. Now, as I said, it took a week. It's exactly 7 days from ordering to having them in my hand from Australia to Thailand. Typically when I order from America, Pop Culture takes about 10 days, which is pretty good. And as you could see, the packaging is fantastic. These are the most perfect examples I've received yet from anywhere. So, as I said, no idea when they'll be made available in the States, but you have options. So I thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like. Please share this video. Make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.